Most of the big names are off the board in NFL free agency, so it's a pretty good time to just stop, take that deep breath, and let's take a look at the NFL free agency landscape right now. Who are the best free agents still available in the National Football League? I'll tell you. Here's a breakdown of numbers 10 through 1, best available still free agents in the NFL. All right, so most of the big names already gone, but still an opportunity here to take a look at a couple of teams or a couple of players here that could still make an impact in the NFL in the upcoming season. At number 10, it's Joel Bitonio. It's a pretty good time to be an interior offensive lineman after the big contract the Raiders gave Tyler Linderbaum. Bitonio could really solidify a team's interior offensive line, a couple of different spots. By the way, if you're watching this or listening, later on this week, going to do the best free agent fits left in the NFL, and Bitonio had quite a few looks. A couple of teams really interesting with him. At number 9, it's David Njoku. I know the tight end spot, not the most valuable out there, but Njoku still has a pretty good skill set, I believe, and has not had the best quarterbacks to work with over the last little while. I still think his combination of size and athleticism, he is not a top 3 tight end or anything like that, but still just a really solid player that can be a very reliable target, whether it's for a young quarterback or the final piece for a developing offense to really become something dangerous. At number 8, again, always a crowd pleaser on the offensive line, it is Cam Robinson. This is not the strongest offensive line free agency class. In the draft, it's a little bit spread out, although you're starting to see more people talk themselves into some of these offensive linemen. Cam Robinson could be an intriguing ad for a team out there. At number 7, it's Brian Robinson Jr. He was the backup for Christian McCaffrey last season, but just a couple years removed from being a very effective starting running back in the NFL. This guy isn't going to go out and get rich or anything like that, but he has a chance to really improve a team's offense. At number 6, it's Calais Campbell, defensive tackle. This guy has we've been expecting a fall off from him for 6 years now, and each year he just comes out and just keeps producing. He's not going to be the best player on a championship level defense or anything like that. But if you need someone to improve your defensive rotation with guys in the middle, or if you have a really strong edge game, need something down the middle, Calais Campbell can still be a very solid piece for a defense. At number 5, again, it's Rasheed Walker. Again, just looking to improve things on the offensive line. Everyone loves offensive lineman talk, right? But I think Rasheed Walker can certainly help out a team. At number 4, it's Kirk Cousins. Maybe there's a bias here with him being the best quarterback that is still available, but I still think there's a little bit there in Kirk Cousins. Probably not going to be next year's Sam Darnold or anything like that, although no matter who signs him, that piece is going to be written. But there's still some bad quarterbacks out there that he is better than. So I guess there's that. Number 3, it's Deebo Samuel. I'm going to hold on to the thought that there is still something really dynamic there with Deebo. I have always kind of overrated him a little bit. I'm aware of that. I know that. But I think when you are looking at a guy who, he's not going to love getting it out of the backfield as much as he was out in San Francisco, but is impossible to bring down, is a pretty reliable target when he is out there, that this is someone who I think can really level up an offense. At number 2, it's Taylor Decker on the offensive line again. I think this is someone who could be a pretty genuine difference maker to a team's offensive line. And we saw throughout the regular season last year, there are a lot of teams that still need those difference makers on the offensive line. So Taylor Decker, I think, is going to be one of those signings that we look back on and, man, can't believe that took into March or April for that to get done. But at number 1, so excited I'm throwing things. It's Jennings, the wide receiver formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know if he's as good as he thinks he is, but this is someone who can be a pretty dynamic force on an offense. I don't think he's a number 1, but I think he's a pretty solid number 2 on a good team and in a good receiving room. So I think he is someone that can be a big boost to a team on offense. What do you guys think? Do you have a problem with the order? Do you have a problem with me leaving anyone off? Let me know in the comments and we can debate it down there. And let me know who your team is and which one of these guys you hope that they sign. And we can keep the football conversation going down in the comments. And of course, while you're there, make sure you hit that like button and hit the subscribe button so we can continue growing things here with Couch Potato Diary.